Hey everybody, I'm Gerry reporting for Kids First, and 13 years ago Finding Nemo came out. It was a classic. I absolutely loved it. Now 13 years later, we are at the premiere, world premiere for Finding Dory, and I cannot wait to learn all about the film, meet so many stars, and I'm just so excited. Let's go see some cool people. What is your favorite part about Finding Nemo, Finding Dory series? Do you think it's the animals, the story? What do you think is your favorite part?
The story. I think you're right. I think it's the story. I think it's the fact that there's a great story about finding the people that you love and trying to be okay with having flaws.
Right now we're with John Ratzenberger, who plays Bill the Crab from the movie. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So, even though you play a role in Finding Dory, what is your favorite film of all time?
You know what, it's funny you should check. I was just thinking the other night, I think one of the most perfect films ever made was My Cousin Vinny.
And when you first saw Finding Dory, did you imagine that would get such a fandom, such a huge following?
Yes, because Pixar, they work very hard at what they do, and so it doesn't surprise me at all.
And do you have a favorite character in Finding Dory, Finding Nemo instead of Bill the Crab?
Well, I played Bill the Crab, but yeah, I do, but I don't want to give away the story before kids see it.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me. Right now with Alan, who is the director, and Mark, who is the producer of the short film that's going to be going before Finding Dory in theaters, Piper. So, how are you guys doing?
A little nervous.
Hot.
Honestly.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of almost a premiere for your short film too. Can you guys tell us about it?
It's why don't you take this one, Mark?
It's about a little bird that overcomes his fears of the ocean and learns how to fend for himself.
So I saw a few screenshots of it, and the animation looks spectacular in it. Can you please tell us about that?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of work. I mean, I have to thank the artist. A lot of the details, this macro photography look, I don't know if folks realize, but all those feathers are posed by the animator. That's 4 to 7 million feathers. So it's a lot of work, but hopefully adds to a beautiful performance.
Right now, Hayden Rolence, who plays Nemo in Finding Dory. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
So when you first got the call, or you first notified that you were going to be continuing with this legendary character, what did you think?
Since my parents actually got the audition while I was at school, got the call when I was at school, they told me after I was at school, and I sort of was in disbelief. I'm like, you guys are joking with me, right? But once I figured out that they weren't actually joking, I was just really astonished and excited about the movie.
And how do you think Nemo inspires viewers?
I think that Nemo inspires viewers because he'll do anything for a friend, and he's very loyal. He's very also nice and kind. So he's just a very nice character.
Right now, Victoria Stroud, who is the writer of the film. How are you doing?
I am well. How are you doing?
So what kind of inspiration did you get from Finding Nemo? Like, what rules did you have to follow to write Finding Dory? Like, anything that specifically you had to concentrate on to appeal to the fans?
Making sure Dory couldn't remember stuff. That was the big rule, is that you're writing for a character who has short-term memory loss, and that was really hard, really hard.
And do you think there's a moral in this film?
I do. I think it's about accepting yourself, as a lot of Disney and Pixar movies are, but I think it tells it in a very unique way.
Right now with Alex Wu, who's a jewelry designer who did a line just for Finding Dory. So I have to ask you, out of all the different things you did for Finding Dory, which one was the most special, the most favorite for you?
I kind of love all of them because, you know, you love all the characters from the movie. You love Dory, you love Nemo. It's really hard to pick because, you know, they're both kind of lovable. But I did both of them, and that's why I couldn't really decide. And then I also did that little O that's in the Dory logo. It's also in the Nemo logo, and it has a little fish inside of it.
And for people who want to get into that line of business, jewelry designing, what tips would you give them?
I would say you just want to start, being a great artist, learning to sketch and draw and do all the things that you can do and being creative. And then like really kind of exploring. I think there's so many opportunities now for kids. There's classes. I have a 7-year-old and he's taking classes like marine biology and all sorts of crazy photography, things that I never had an opportunity to do when I was a kid. So I think, trying different mediums in the creative field I think is important.
Well, the event is over. We met so many cool people, had a lot of fun. Dory here got to meet a lot of cool people, and she got some signatures, and she's really excited about that. Go to kidsfirst.org for more coverages like this and movie reviews. I'm Gerry, your host, signing off. See you guys.